Hey, Sean here from SpeedCubeShop.com. Oh geez, this microphone's in a weird spot. Let's fix this. Hey, Sean here from SpeedCubeShop.com. I've got a package from SpeedCubeShop. Let's take a look. Ooh, awesome. Okay, so first off, we do have a few new bags. I like... Ooh, that red one's very, very felty. This white one, I'm afraid of this one getting dirty. But it looks snazzy. That red one might be my favorite. That's very nice. Okay, so 3 new bags. We have the Gans P56R and then the Guhong. Let's look at this first, because I've had some people ask me about this. Now, this should be the RS. It's hard to tell because it's in the plastic. Let's find out. It is the RS. No, that is... Interesting. Okay. So the RS is basically the R with the matte finish. Although here's the difference. The XS doesn't have clips for the edges, and this one does. You can still take the caps off of this. So that is very interesting. Does the RS have caps? So this is a little chaotic to start, but pretty much there is a new one called the RS. And I originally heard that the GAN RS is the GAN R that they've had for a few months, just in a new packaging. Those have clips on the edges, and the GAN XS does not have clips, or clips that you can see, I don't believe. Let's check that out. Yeah, nothing here, anything on the corners. They do have clips on the corners, so it's just these edges don't. So I need to see an image of the pieces of the RS. Can I find this somewhere? Nope, not there. Interesting, this is actually difficult to look up. Let's just go to the GANCube website. Actually, GAN is also calling this a 356S. No, I can't really see from those images. Okay, it is. Awesome. What I've been told and what it looks like is that if you have the 356R from the past, I don't know, even a few months, that is the RS, if you have a matte finish on the puzzle. The pieces clip in like the X does, not like the XS. The matte finish is basically what the XS is. If you look, you see that the colors might look slightly different, especially this red. But what happens is after a lot of use, the plastic actually sort of shines up a bit over what this matte plastic was, just from a lot of use. So this is very, very, very slick, the RS out of the box. When the XS, this is now much, much grippier just from some use. So compared to the old one, the colors are much better. Kind of the big issue with the R for a lot of people was just the colors. And these colors are the standard ones. So can you magnetize this? The answer is yes. It looks like the pieces are the exact same as the R was, but they just have this matte finish because they're the exact same clips. Okay, so I'll try for that later, but it looks like the exact same type of pieces. So it can be magnetized, and my guess is it'll feel just like the XS's. This is quite flexible out of the box. But one thing that I found a lot of people who tried the R who have not had the GAN Air from maybe 3 years ago or 4 years ago, they felt like it was just too flexible and it didn't feel quite right. It felt just like an Air to me. So still has the exact same design. But yeah, if you get the GAN R, you basically have a GAN XS without the magnets. Yeah, I'm going to try to get this apart. That would be very lame if I didn't do that. So let's try this again. Okay, oh, I remember what I did. I put a paper clip in here to keep that up. Oh well, that clips anyways. Oh yeah, magnets will definitely fit in there. There's actually a spot at the very center where there looks like there's a track. You can just slide the magnet right inside of there. So these, yeah, I could switch these right now. I could even switch some of them on my own X with these ones. Interesting. So this GAN R, still a bit much for a non-magnetic puzzle, but you do have now everything set, besides having the magnets, to have an XS at about 1/3 the cost. It's not, the pieces are not the same as the XS. There we go, there's the XS. That logo is just fading really fast. Yeah, the logos fade really fast on these. So yeah, it is quite flexible. I probably will magnetize this. I'll use N42, sorry, 4x2 N35, and yeah, I'll see how it goes. I'll probably polish this too, or just use it, do a few thousand solves on it, and that will clean itself up. So I was so much in a hurry to get to the Guhong, I completely forgot about looking at the core. So let's do that. I checked this out last night. This is the next day from when I recorded the other thing. And so the core is the metal part of the actual like core of it might be what they use in the XS, but these are not. This is not the GES nuts that I use in the XS. It's actually more similar to the GAN 356i, which is not great, but it's not horrible. So this uses the tension system that you can turn and set with just your hands. So it has an off position and then 0.6 and 0.8. I believe it's hard to see that. I believe it's 0.6 and 0.8. If I turn it to the off position, you can pull this out. Usually, if I can grab this, oh my god, this is so difficult to pull out. There we go. And then we have the capsule here. So this is quite a large capsule, but yeah, it looks like what they use in the XS. You just don't have the change of elasticity. Often you can take this apart and you can, stretch or compress the springs. I've done that in the past. I don't suggest you do it unless you're really confident with that sort of thing. I like tighter tension, so I usually will keep this at 0.6. That number has to do with how far the core can, or the pieces can stretch from the core, at least the center cap. So how close the center piece is to the middle of the core itself. So you have two tensions on it. I wouldn't say it's like the XS core. I would more say it's like the X with the numerical IPG. As you know, I prefer the V5 IPG. So I prefer the springs that you can actually screw and turn. Yeah, you might need a tool for that, but you have a lot more options than just two. Luckily, this is not too flexible, and I can't imagine you getting corner twists. One thing on the numerical IPG for the X was I felt the tightest tension was still too loose. So that's actually a nice change here. That's about it. That's all I need to say with this. I'm not a big fan of the matte finish, but after a bunch of solves, it does get much grippier. Much, much, much grippier. So you just need to use it for a while. Yeah, SpeedCubeShop does sell magnets, the 4x2 N35, but that's about it. That's really all I can say about it. If you do have the R, that pretty much does seem like that is the RS that's now the new branding name of it, or even 356S, which GAN has on their own website. So thank you very much for watching. I'll have a video on this other one coming soon. So please leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Hit like, subscribe for more content like this in the future, and as always, stop by SpeedCubeShop.com for more news and reviews.